Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2018 general readings. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to any newcomers. Thank you for those of you who continue to follow my YouTube channel and like and share and subscribe. And thanks always to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for all of you. Thank you. And as most of you who follow me know, if you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and my contact details by either clicking on the description bar of all the videos I post, or you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the little About button. You can email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And turnaround time scheduling for personal readings is pretty timely too. It can be as soon as a few days depending on scheduling and rescheduling and cancellations, which always happen. And or upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time we can set something up for you. So if you're interested in that, send me an email and we'll go from there. I do a wide variety of readings in all the main areas of life: love and romance, compatibility, reconciliation, career work and finance, as well as investments. I do channeled messages from passed on loved ones, and 6 and 12-month overviews, which a lot of people like because it's a specific spread that offers a 6 or 12-month overview of all the main areas of your life and what's coming, depending on how far ahead you want to look, as well as gift readings. All right, let's move right into this. This reading is for the water sign of Cancer, our crabs, for the month of September 2018. Remember that general readings will resonate always a little differently for everybody watching because there's so many of you watching. If you know your rising and moon sign, watch those videos as well. They can provide additional clarification. Okay, Cancer. Let's see what September has in store for you. We begin with the 4 of Swords, followed by the 5 of Wands. We have the 6 of Wands, followed by the 8 of Cups. We have the Knight of Wands, followed by the Hierophant. And we have the Chariot, followed by the 3 of Pentacles. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is the 9 of Pentacles. So Cancer, it looks like in the Pentacles area of your life, or job, work, career, the practical areas of your life, it looks like you're going to be doing good. Money and money security looks pretty good for those of you who have a job that kind of relies on clients and money coming in. You know, not like a regular paycheck, but coming in from clients, it looks pretty good too. Your overall energy for the month, your crowning card from the bottom of the deck, is the 9 of Pentacles, which is a card of independence, self-sufficiency, self-reliance, self-empowerment. This is a card about providing for yourself, doing very well at it, enjoying your life, whether you're single or not. Enjoying where you're at financially and materially, and in terms of your environment, it looks like you're doing pretty well, not really needing to rely on anybody else. So in terms of job, work, career, and money, that looks pretty good for you for the month of September, and that you'll be working hard at maintaining that, or you know, on the path towards getting there as well. It looks like there's a time out from some kind of conflict or arguing perhaps, or a relationship that may be kind of rocky, whether it's with one person or within a group of people. And I feel like for the most part, Cancer, I feel like there has been, and for a while now, an ongoing situation with a person or a group of people. Maybe not a big group of people, but a smaller group of people, if not just one specific relationship. Because it looks like you're taking a step back from that, and need to take a step back from that. Because we end August, begin September with the 4 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. So the 4 of Swords is a card of rest, respite, restoration, needing to take a step back and a time out from any battle or challenge or conflict. This is a card that often comes up when someone's feeling, a bit drained, tired, overwhelmed, exhausted. Maybe you've been working too hard, or there's been some kind of battle or challenge or conflict that you've been engaged in, and you're tired, so you need to take a step back, which is what this knight is doing. This three swords pointing down at him represent whatever the battle or the fight or the conflict or the challenge or job is, and his own sword is lying close by his hand should he need it. But for the time being, he's not engaged. He's tired. He's taking a step back to rest, recuperate, which always helps give us a different perspective and maybe some insight into a particular situation. Now what clarifies it is the Five of Wands, which is a card that can represent conflict, internal or external conflict, or a combination of both. But really, they're usually intertwined, right? I mean, if you're in external conflict with a person or person, it always affects us internally, and vice versa, usually. It's somewhat petty energy. The Five of Wands can represent petty conflict which isn't huge. I mean, you can see that the men in this circle are sparring with each other. They're not using real weapons. They don't want to kill each other. They're not out for blood, but they're sparring, which can represent circular conflict, fighting over the same thing over and over again, petty, gossip, rumor mongering, nobody winning and nobody losing, but nobody's willing to compromise or negotiate or give a single inch or recognize, okay, let's elevate ourselves. What's the really important thing here? And let's let everything else go. So it just keeps going on and on and on and on, this petty kind of conflict. And that's what clarifies the Four of Swords. So some of you may be taking a step back from a specific conflict with a person or a group of people or within a situation. Some of you, this may be advice for you that if you're engaged in this battle conflict, and again, I have this feeling it's been going on for a while, like it's nothing new. So you really need to take a step back from it, because when we're feeling tired, we're not overwhelmed, exhausted, we sometimes can't see even if there's a solution, or we get stuck on fighting about something that we feel like we're committed to fighting, even if somewhere during that we don't even know if it's still important, or what's the important thing here. You need to take a step back, which is going to help give you some insight and maybe some insight and clarification, and at least rest and take better care of yourself. Because often too, when the Four of Swords comes up, it's advice to, maybe around the end of August, beginning of September, withdraw from whatever this conflict or challenge is, if at all possible. Elevate yourself, maybe take better care of yourself, take a bit of a temporary reprieve and rest, which will help give you a different perspective on this. And I feel like a lot of you do that successfully, because next to that we have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups. And since your overall energy is a very independent energy, it could be that some of what this conflict is you're wanting to cling to a sense of independence in something, in some way, or somebody else, like maybe a partner, is as well. Again, this is a general reading. The details and specifics are going to vary because there's so many of you watching, but the energy remains the same. There could be some kind of conflict over independence, or somebody maybe needing more space this month, whether it's you or somebody else. So we have the Six of Wands and the Eight of Cups next. So the Six of Wands is a great card. It's a card of victory and triumph over challenge. And it's significant victory. It's not a small win. This man went off to do something, slay a dragon, rescue a princess, switch career paths, resolve a long time argument, whatever it is. And it was a difficult challenge, but he's triumphed, and he's riding back into town triumphant. And it can also represent public recognition as well, because you see he's being given recognition and applause. It sometimes can represent winning an award for something, getting a bonus, those praises. Now it's clear. Now what clarifies it is the Eight of Cups, which is a card of walking away and leaving something behind. There can be a sense of disappointment, disillusionment. Maybe something turned out differently than you thought it would. It hasn't played out the way you thought. It's run its course. You've lost interest in it, and it's not contributing a sense of joy and fulfillment for your life. So you've made up your mind definitively to turn your back on it and walk away. Now, so it looks like success and victory, and it's clarified by walking away. So what this can mean for some of you, because some of you this is going to be a different story than others. Some of you, It can be that you've been engaged in this long-term battle or fight or struggle or argument somehow with another person or a group of people. But I feel like if it's a group of people, it's a small group of people. And you are successful in leaving the entire thing behind. You're turning your back on this. You don't even have to drink from all of these cups. You're just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out of here. And that's how you're going to successfully transition through whatever this difficulty is. And again, there may be a struggle where independence is an issue here for some reason. I also feel like, and here's an interesting, okay, this is interesting. I'm getting another story here. I also feel like some of you, this victory clarified by this walking away energy, I feel like for some of you, there was a relationship it went through a really hard time or has been going through a really tough time. And the relationship itself had the conflict and issues included other people, but they weren't necessarily directly involved, so to speak. Those of you for whom this needs to resonate, this is going to make sense to you. So there was a relationship that was going through some real difficulty. And I feel like you, at different times, you wanted to leave it behind you and walk away. And at other times, the other person wanted to leave it and walk away. Now, this could be, I feel like for some of you, this was a romantic, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationship. And for some of you, it may just be close friends or kindred spirit kind of relationship. But I feel like at different times during this strung out, difficult relationship or a difficult time period you guys went through, both of you at different times wanted to just go, you know what, bag this, I'm out of here. I'm leaving this all behind me. I don't care. I can't keep going around and around and around about the same old things over and over again. And I feel like you guys have successfully transitioned through that point and are transitioning through that point in September. Meaning that there is a commitment to, let's put this behind us once and for all, and let's move through this into a future together. And that's what I feel for some of you as well. Interesting. And again, I feel like independence was a core issue, and it could have been that maybe you wanted more independence in the relationship, maybe they wanted more independence in the relationship. And when I say independence, I don't necessarily mean living your life as single. I just mean that, it can be some people need more space than others in their day-to-day life. Some people need to carve out those spaces, and in a relationship, it can be kind of challenging when you have a relationship between two people and one of them doesn't really need that much personal space, the other one does, and they happen to love each other. That can sometimes, be kind of difficult, and sometimes can break people up unnecessarily. I think when there's a way to kind of compromise and work things out where everybody kind of gets what they want overall. Okay, so next to that we have the Knight of Wands and the Hierophant. So the Knight of Wands. Knights often represent events, offers, opportunities, and the speed at which situations and those things move at. All four of the Knights are known for being rather fast because Knights are spontaneous and impulsive. But they're trained for missions and quests, and they're very single-minded, can be obsessive and fanatical about that, and they're very quick, they're charged, kind of off. So they all are fairly fast-moving. But out of all four of the Knights, the Knight of Wands is the fastest because he's Wands, which is governed by the element of fire. Fast, passionate, energetic, his horse is in motion, his helm is down, his spear is up, he's ready. He's ready for battle, he's ready for the mission, he's ready to go off. So it can represent offers and opportunities and situations that are moving very quickly, coming in quickly, moving very quickly as well. The Knight of Wands can also sometimes represent a change in geographical location, a move of residence, or a move in geographical change with a job. Not that you change your job, but where you do your job changes too. So it can represent geographical changes, location changes, or traveling. So the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Hierophant, which is a card of convention, tradition, solidity. It can represent organized religions, large businesses, and or institutions, marriage. It's the status quo. It's doing what everybody else is doing. There is sometimes, as there always is, a certain element of sacrifice, of individuality and self-expression with the Hierophant, but the payoff is that you get to belong to a large group of people and have that umbrella of shelter. It's kind of the status quo, culture and tradition as well. So some of you, it can be, especially if you're transitioning through a difficult time in a relationship, but you're doing this successfully, you may be actually taking a rather big, fast leap into a more committed relationship. You might be moving in together, getting engaged, getting married. Because the Hierophant can represent moving to a deeper level of commitment and responsibility as well. This could be in job, work, and career path also. I mean, all of this conflict and again, the details and specifics in general readings, what I've described for relationship issues, this can also be represented with the same energy within your job or work environment or career path as well, and with people in that, not necessarily a personal relationship as well. Some of you may have been through a difficult situation in your job or work environment, and it could have included it could have been maybe some nasty office politics, gossip, rumor mongering. You successfully kind of transitioned through that. You may be even getting recognized or public recognition for something, and that may come with a raise, a promotion, another job, another level of responsibility as well. So at or towards the end of September, we have the Chariot and the Three of Pentacles. I like the flow of this reading a lot, Cancer, because you're starting off with like this kind of challenging energy and feeling kind of tired and drained and wanting to and needing to kind of take a step back from that and pushing through and successfully moving through this, whether it's with somebody else in a situation or separately from yourself. I feel like independence was a core issue in this. In what way it's going to vary according to what's going on in your lives, and then we make this okay, we have this success, and then we transition really quickly into something deeper, something more established, something more committed. And then at or towards the end of the month, we have the Chariot and the Three of Pentacles. Also very fast energy. I mean, you have the Knight of Wands is actually sitting right next to the Chariot. The Chariot is one of the most, if not the most, powerful success cards in the tarot. It's a major arcana card, and it speaks of success, but success that comes from staying focused on your goals, being very ambitious, driven, not allowing anything to get in the way of your success, pulling together whatever resources you have in order to propel something forward successfully. Which is what the woman in this Chariot has to do. She has to operate all these different aspects of this Chariot, pull everything together and make it work, all of which want to go in opposite and different directions, and pull them all together and make it work in unison and harmony to successfully propel something forward to success. It is a very powerful card of success, and success that comes on. It's like winning because you simply refuse to give up, and you refuse to keep working at it until you get there. Determination, will, perseverance. A very powerful card. Sometimes it can represent being very ambitious and driven, and needing to be careful with that because you really don't want to run people over on your path to success, because that will come back to you at some point. But it's like the last half of the month, there's this fast, successful, moving forward energy with other people or with another person, because the Chariot is clarified by the Three of Pentacles, which is a card of successful teamwork, compromise, and negotiation. And I love that we end with this card, because at the beginning of the reading is the Five of Wands, which is conflict with other people. And at the end, I mean, not to say that it's an easy path. Compromise and negotiation is about at least one person elevating themselves and going, okay, it's about everybody agreeing that one thing at least needs to happen. Something needs to be built, something needs to be created. there is at least one common goal that you can agree on, something that needs to be achieved. Maybe so everybody comes together. Maybe they don't even all like each other. They have different opinions of how something needs to be done, but they all agree that this thing needs to be done or needs to be accomplished. And so it's about compromise, negotiation, what's important, what's really important, what can I live without, what can I compromise on in order to successfully work together and get something done and achieve success. And it's very powerful and fast moving at the end of September, and I really like how the reading kind of transitions through that. Looks like, a bit of a tough kind of, left hook, right hook, all of that stuff at the beginning. You get through it, you move forward, and then it takes off like a bat out of hell towards the end of the month in a really successful way. Not you on your own, but with other people. It could be that you may be called to examine your sense of independence, you or somebody else, in terms of, okay, independence is wonderful, but you can be independent and also share your life with other people as well. So great. Really interesting, fascinating reading, Cancer. Love to hear some feedback on this one as the month transitions. So Cancer, that pretty much wraps up your September 2018 general reading. Thank you for watching. I hope that you found it helpful. Again, if any of you are interested in scheduling a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. And you can get more information and contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on that little About button, or clicking on the description bar of any of the videos I post. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy for quick answers to the quick, easy questions. And that link is also provided. So Cancer, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the September 2018 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.